the Sugar Grits podcast. I'm Jack Schwartz alongside my beautiful co-hosts
Keith Corey.
And we have a special guest today, Caitlin McDevitt.
Very special.
Hi.
And she's a comedian.
Sometimes.
And that's about it. That's all
And
I really
a lady,
know.
don't do that. She's a lady too. Don't do that.
I'm a person.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, first of all, I wasn't going to say like lady comedian because that sounds offensive, you know.
I'm a person. I do comedy sometimes.
Okay. Well, really? There's something outside of the stand-up for you?
Yeah.
That's nice. What's that like?
It
Keith
feels
is the same
good.
way, to be honest. You guys
Yeah.
have lives.
You have a life too.
Not much.
You just came back from vacation.
I did. I went to Bermuda.
That's a person as a life.
Yeah. I feel bad saying I went to Bermuda. It kind of makes me feel like I'm like rich all of a sudden when I really cling to being broke as part of my personality.
Well, I mean,
you don't need money there. You just need
went
money to
with
get
other
there.
people. Yeah.
I did. Yeah. I'm gonna marry rich.
It's a good strategy.
Well, she's also poor, but her parents are not rich, but they're okay. They're doing good. There's two
They're
of them,
richer
and they're
than you.
together still. That means a lot,
Yeah.
money-wise. Yeah, they
Two
are richer than me.
incomes. Yeah.
Very successful, older folks. It was a great time. Have you ever been to Bermuda?
No.
Yeah.
I do love cruise ships, so I have been to like the Caribbean, but
Yeah.
Oh shit! I would have never known that about you. That's pretty dope.
yeah, I own 100 shares of Carnival.
Do you really?
Ooh.
Yeah.
You bought in? That's so.
I bought
That's like
during
so smart.
I bought during lockdown. I bought a bunch of Delta stock, and then I bought a bunch of Carnival stock.
What was your thought process behind that? That they were going to blow up after COVID?
Yeah.
Did they?
Delta I've made the money back and more. Delta's doing great.
Nice.
Carnival hasn't quite come all the way back, but I've like recouped a lot of that loss.
I
You get
didn't really think
10%
about
off bookings when you own 100 shares because you're now like
You're like a part of the company.
person.
Do they have like Do they like greet you? And they're like, "Oh, Caitlin McDevitt, shareholder."
No, so you get like
special room.
I get a shareholder like portfolio thing.
Yeah.
And I don't get a special room, but there are different levels of Carnival membership. The more you go and the like more stock you own, it's not a multi-level marketing scheme.
Right. It sounds like Are you gonna sell me stocks by the end of this?
No, honestly, I don't recommend it if you don't already like going on the cruises. My friend
I
has
do.
a
I've been
much
on
better
one.
has a much better deal because he's a big gambler. So like he gets a special room, and he has like a special number he calls.
Okay, gambler meaning like with stocks, like he's into that.
No, he's like gambling like on the boat.
Yeah, that's what I was like. So why are they trying to make him more comfortable to be like, yo, like
Oh, like he keeps giving them so much money that they're like, "Come on, oh."
He's figured out
Yeah.
some sort of system that I don't fully understand.
Yeah.
That has to do with when you cash in and out. That makes it seem like you're a bigger whale than you are. But our first
Okay,
cruise
interesting.
together, we met a woman. We thought the highest level there was platinum. Turns out there's a diamond status, and that's for like the hardcore whales. And there's this woman whose whole life, she just pays like $70 for a cruise. Like she just pays the like port fees.
Damn, that's pretty impressive.
And the cruise pays for everything else because she gambles so much money.
God damn, yo, that's fucking crazy.
And she lives in Baltimore. And whenever she's like low on cash, she drives for Uber. Her name's Marion. We ran into her at the MGM.
Gambling.
Yeah.
So when she's driving for Uber the whole time, like she's like, damn, I gotta make this money. You know what, passenger? I wish I was on a fucking boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she makes more money from the boat?
She makes
Yeah.
more money from the boat. She only ever does the Uber thing when she's like lost enough.
That's a wild life.
That's a fucking wild ass life,
Keith,
right?
have you ever been on a cruise?
I want to so badly.
You haven't?
No,
We should do a Sugar Grits cruise.
that'd be dope.
Hell yeah. Just you and I on a love boat.
I love boat, dude. I want to
fun.
dance. I want to be in like the island seas and just like do shit I never would have thought. Like how I did at BlurCon. It just sounds fun.
We should put a pin in BlurCon because I don't even know what the fuck that means. But I went to Cozumel. And then some other island. What's an island on the way to Cozumel?
I don't know. I think I've been
Not
to
the Virgin
Cozumel.
Islands. What the fuck are they? Anyway, they were all Caribbean and they were friendly.
Yeah.
And I asked where to buy weed, and they were like, "This isn't Jamaica."
really how
and I was
you
like,
do
"Oh,
that, yeah.
sorry."
And then they offered you a coconut or some shit.
Yeah, honestly, kinda. They were very friendly. Caribbean people are very friendly.
Yeah, man. No fucking
I'm
worries.
sure some of them want to chop you up, but
You got water all around your island.
yeah. The people of Bermuda, the Bermudians, were so fucking friendly. It's like such a that like relies on tourism, so I guess they're all just like pretty hospitable.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're being nice to you because you're a tourist.
Yeah, but I mean, really, it's like just everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. Like Matilda's mom was trying to figure out how to. She rented a moped and she was trying to figure out how to start it up at one point.
That's a classic tourism move.
It is. And this guy, I mean, they all drive them around this like
I know,
Bermuda,
but they know how to do it.
Yeah, it's like so fun. I mean, she would look so silly on that road. I never saw her actually riding it, but I imagine she was really slowing down traffic, but everybody was polite about it because she's like a little old lady. What are you going to do? But some guy was like, I have to sit on it to start it. And she was like, okay. And she was like, I'm going to trust this man. And then he just like started it and was like showing her how to lock it. And he's like, all right, here you go. And he gets off. And he's like, good luck.
That sounds like a great experience.
Yeah, but in D.C., that guy's riding away with that moped.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure. But
you know?
Also, why do you have a moped here?
Yeah, that's true. You could just rent one every 10 seconds. Anyway.
No, not a moped.
Yeah, but the seated little Vios, you seen those new ones? They added seats to scooters to battle homophobia, I'm pretty sure.
What?
Yeah, I realized that like there's a lot of people in DC who think it's gay to ride a scooter.
That's the straightest activity I can think of.
Riding a scooter?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Even though I know a lot of gay guys ride them shits.
No, I mean a lot of straight guys ride them too, but I just think there's like a part of DC culture that unnamed segment of DC culture that thinks it's gay to ride a scooter.
Well, don't fucking ride it. That's like just backward. I don't know.
Right, but then they added a seat. Now it's not gay. It's a motorcycle.
If anything, that shit makes it more gayer.
It does a little bit, right? Because like a little bit. Anyway,
just a dude just riding past, sitting on the scooter, just like pussy.
People used to fuck with me a lot when I was riding the scooter when I first started riding them around.
So there's not a like demographic of people. You were just bullied while riding a scooter.
Well, the demographic,
Is that what's happening?
What I'm trying to avoid saying is that it's mostly the black people I live around.
Interesting.
Because I live in a fairly black area, and they love to talk shit to me and roast me. And
don't you think they would do that regardless of what you were doing?
It's a little different. They assume I'm gay on the scooter, but when I'm just walking, they just say shit like, "Where are you going?" and things like that.
No, they're just trying. I keep telling you, they're just trying to fuck with you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm on Quayside.
Yeah, I don't take it well. I'm pretty aggressive.
That's why they keep doing it.
No, it's why they stopped, to be honest.
No, if you show like you're not scared, they'll stop fucking with you.
Yeah, and I had to do that pretty quick. Luckily, that's like a part of who I am. It wasn't like a learned skill. Like that's how Tampa is. So I just naturally was like, "Who the fuck are you?" And then they're like, "Okay."
Don't you think that means it's a learned skill?
Yeah, I guess, but a little more innate, I guess. Like, yeah, sure. Where would you go on a cruise, Keith?
Definitely to the islands, actually.
The islands.
Yeah. One of my best friends went. He was like, "Yo, look, you gotta go."
They do cruises to Jamaica. That'd be a fun place to go, I think. Kind of. I really prefer. Well, I do like to go to foreign countries that speak English. Just makes the whole process easier. So Jamaica would be okay, I guess. Sort of. It's hard to understand their English, but for me, but.
I like the actual cruise itself.
Being on the actual boat.
Yeah, I love people watching. It's just like a big motel.
That's what Patrice O'Neill said. He's like, it's a big ass mall.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's a very nice motel.
I mean, 24/7 soft serve ice cream, buffets for every meal.
Yeah,
it's pretty dope.
You'll get tired of ice cream though. If you have something served to you 24 hours, it'll be like, all right, that's cool, and then
Speak
you
for
get
yourself, dude.
You do get used to it.
Yeah, you'll be like, all right, I'll get it.
You have to move around, so like you get free. There's like free
the food
dinner every night. That's like in the like big grand stateroom with like table cloths and stuff. And then they also have individual restaurants, most of which are free, some of which you pay extra for.
Yeah. I've experienced, but we went to a fancy restaurant. It's funny how I got on this cruise. I was I want to say I was 20. And because I don't think I was old enough to drink yet. So we had to wait till we were in like foreign waters or something. And plus they didn't give a fuck. They were just handing out alcohol anyway. But a friend of mine.
They operate under U.S.
the whole time.
Law, yeah.
Oh. Well, I was drinking the whole time, but I wasn't ordering them, I guess. We had like her parents had the drink tickets.
Yeah, they
Once
were
again, just brought by a family.
Yeah. That's interesting.
So my buddy and his girlfriend and another buddy and his girlfriend, I was friends with all of them, but they were all going on a cruise together.
But it's important that we all know that you were mostly friends with the two men.
Yeah. No, I was mostly friends with the two women and one man.
Okay.
And the other man was just like an acquaintance kind of thing.
Okay.
And then one of the guys I was friends with killed the guy and went to jail. So they gave me his cruise ticket, so I just got to go on a cruise.
I mean,
That's true. I mean, I don't want
fucking cool, but like,
Is it?
no,
Oh,
hell,
for me.
for you.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
it lined up for you.
Yeah, I was like,
Damn, yo,
sorry,
like,
I take that off your hands. Yeah,
and so did he take that person's life off their hands?
he did that as well. Yeah, yeah. Got out pretty quick too. Might even listen to this podcast. Hey, bud.
It's like, yo, that motherfucker took my.
He owns a lawn business now. He's doing well.
That's good. I'm glad
a
he
handsome
turned his
fella.
life together.
Yeah.
Interesting fact about him.
Yeah.
Hold on. He killed somebody like in self-defense, or just like went out and killed somebody?
It was like a
Or
drug
like
incident.
someone
Like they were
died
all.
in the middle of another crime.
We like shot a guy.
Right, but like, was it in the middle of another crime, or did he just walk up to a man? And
No, like they don't remember what happened because they were so fucked up.
What the fuck?
it's very sad.
Legitimately, yeah. Xanax was like a big problem over there. Yeah.
I don't think Xanax is the kind of
Yeah, I was about to say,
drug
does
most people
that like
shoot
make you
other
like,
people
No,
with.
no, no, I
isn't that
mean,
like a downer or something?
I don't think it necessarily made him
Xanax is
shoot
like,
the guy,
ugh,
but it made
what
him
if we took a
forget.
nap?
Because if you take even one Xanax and drink 2 beers, you do not remember the night.
I don't really.
What's the point
mix
of doing a
pills.
drug
Just
if you
take my word
don't?
for it.
I believe you. You're
What?
from Florida.
That's so scary. I don't want to do drugs if it's making me forget a bunch of shit.
Well, they had
Well, I
some
think
shit
it was
to
the
forget,
drugs
you know.
plus the alcohol. So
Yeah, it
you're-
was.
You're
It
probably
was.
fine.
Plus a little bit of insanity within him. I mean, he was a bit of a wild card, you know. He was he was like the guy who we would get to fight other people if we needed that to happen. You know, aggressive children and whatnot.
Keith, do you want to tell us more about your evening?
This isn't about me. This is about you. You're the guest.
No, we should probably move on to BlurCon. To be honest,
All right.
I'll be honest. For a comedy podcast, not very funny so far.
No, this shit is lit. I love it.
I
feel like we've
we
learned a
feel
lot.
human. Yeah.
Yeah.
We feel like
Are you
humans.
surprised by any of this about my? This is like where I.
No,
These
this
are my
is
roots.
classic Florida.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like this is what people expect. Give the people what they want. You know.
You don't have to give the people what they want.
Oh, I gotta give it to them.
Yeah. This
You
is
can
literally
just do
me
what
every.
you want.
Well, I
And if
want to
that
give it to
lines
them.
up, then great.
I want them to know.
I'm just saying, like, your motivation should come from yourself.
It is.
Wow.
This is me every episode, Caitlin. Just listen to his stories. I'm just like, what? He's like, yeah, it was a panda bear there, and they, you know.
Oh, you've heard the panda story?
See, you see what I mean, right?
Just kidding. I did live in Japan though, so
I didn't know that.
yeah. And there's pandas there, right? Or is that a China thing?
I think that's a China
It's
thing.
The bear itself is from China.
Right.
Whether or not Japan has a couple in a zoo or something, I don't know.
Nah, but they probably have
No,
their
the
own
zoos
type
are
of bear.
scary in Japan. In fact, like there's not really fences. They rely on like sedation.
I was reading a really interesting article about Japan. We're getting nowhere near what Keith was doing.
No, not yet, but there's time.
No, it's time. Where the
Wait, go
animals,
on.
where the animals like,
Yeah, they do speak Japanese.
that's pretty cool.
Ashitu.
No,
These are real words, so it's not racist. Right?
that's why praying mantises you see it in the zoo. Don't know why they're in zoos.
You think they're Japanese?
Dude, they're like this all the time.
Well, they're praying. Everybody prays. You think they're bowing?
Well,
Yes.
people pray differently.
Yeah,
Not everyone prays exactly
fair.
like that.
Some of them pray like more yoga style.
Yeah, that's true.
Matter of fact, most of them pray yoga style. What were you gonna say? You were gonna say something that wasn't offensive. So let's
No,
go
it's
with that.
okay.
The Japanese
No,
animals.
tell us more about how everyone prays yoga style.
I just think a lot of people are Muslim, and they kind of pray in like a downward dog. I'm just trying to describe the format of how they pray.
No,
you know what I
that's
mean?
I want to say the Latino community probably does too.
Well, they're mostly Catholic.
Yeah, but they do the
Calisthenics.
yeah.
Pull-ups and stuff.
Nah, they do the with the.
No, it's
the
called genuflecting.
Did you say calisthenics?
I did.
Wait, what did you? What is it?
Calisthenics.
No, the other thing.
Genuflecting.
Genuflecting. What is that?
It's like you stand up and sit down and kneel and stand up and sit down and kneel. It's a Catholic thing.
Americans pray lazy, huh?
You're so smart.
I studied religions in college.
Did you grow up religious?
I did. I grew up Catholic.
Yeah. And
Hence
how
the
did it stick?
genuflecting. It didn't stick for a variety of reasons, but
Okay.
it didn't stick because I thought everyone was Catholic, and so I wanted to be the Pope. And then they were like, "You can't be the Pope." And I was like, "If I can't be in charge, then why am I even
What's
here?"
the point?
Why you can't be the Pope?
Totally understand that, actually.
Technically, anyone can be the Pope. The Pope just has to be universally elected or unanimously elected by cardinals.
Yeah, there's a bit of a genre there, a bit of a demographic.
They typically
with the
only
mayors.
elect other cardinals.
Old white pedophiles.
Yeah.
Man, I'll
But
let
technically, you don't have to be a cardinal to be elected.
For the record, I would also vote for you to be the Pope.
Thank you. But you'd have to be a cardinal for it to matter. But I appreciate it.
Can I be a Jewish cardinal?
No.
Okay, well, I just feel like, okay, Jesus was Jewish. I just don't really see why they would, like, keep me out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, you have to remember that Catholics have almost nothing. Like, a lot of Christianity has nothing to do with Judaism.
Yeah.
I would elect you. I just want to see what you do when you're a pope. Like,
I
would
don't
you
think
like?
I do anything good. I haven't been a part of the faith in a long time.
No, I think you would do good. But like,
6-year-old me was really like, I want to be in charge.
let's get some shit
I
done.
just imagine 6-year-old you, and now I know the audience probably doesn't know Caitlin McDevitt on
Hopefully
a personal
doesn't.
level. I will say, with my newfound following, okay, of mostly awful people, I mean,
hope
really
none
the
of them
worst.
know me.
I think a lot of people might end up watching these episodes, and all of you are horrible, just awful people.
I bet some of you are okay.
Maybe 2 or 3, maybe the Wiccans. There's a lot of Wiccans now following
Yeah, I
me.
didn't know.
I'm going to the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum next week
Oh,
to
right
go
on.
ghost hunting. So honestly,
Oh,
Wiccans,
fuck
this is a
yeah.
good place
Oh,
for you to
hell
be.
yeah. Oh, you know, you're on Keith and I's spot now. We love ghosts on this podcast. Matter of fact, we actually
Ghosts
talk
and aliens.
We regularly bring up how we're gonna talk about ghosts. Never talk about it.
I am unfortunately not the best person for this.
Why, you don't believe in ghosts?
It's not that I don't believe in ghosts, it's that ghosts don't believe in me.
You don't have any experiences to speak of.
So this is my 5th trip
Okay.
to the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. It's in Weston, West Virginia.
Okay.
It was a state-run facility from like early 1800s.
Stupid name for a place. Weston, West Virginia.
Well, it wasn't
Wait,
called West Virginia back in the day. It was called Virginia.
We get it. You're West. Like,
Well, they actually seceded at the beginning of the Civil War because they didn't want to secede from the Union with Virginia.
they didn't want to be a part of Virginia.
Right. That's
So
how
they
West
wanted to be
Virginia,
in the North, and
West
they were-
Virginia was like, we're not
Right.
cool with
Oh,
this.
I didn't know that. It's interesting. Wow, they
this
really spun that
asylum
around.
has a lot to do with that because they were given this money by Virginia to build the asylum. And then when West Virginia seceded, Virginia tried to like take all the money back, and the North came down and took the money. And that's how West Virginia actually was able to become a state.
Okay,
Anyway,
now who do you ghost hunt with? Yeah, I want
This
to
is
know.
my 5th trip. I've gone before. I went with Jenny Questel a couple of years ago for my birthday, and we did like a paranormal.
Shout out, Jenny.
Janae.
Co-producer of the Living Room Show, DC. We went and like you get handed like little instruments to like hold on this trip, and it was like mid-lockdown, so we're like wearing masks. It's very hot, and
It's a ghost. Oh, it's Victor. Victor!
excellent timing.
Because we all look like, oh shit.
Is it a ghost? Sorry, we're talking about ghosts.
Hello, everybody.
Hey,
Hello, how are we?
We're doing well. How are you?
Well, vibing. Good.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
How's the podcast going?
Well,
Well, it started kind of not great, and then really took a turn when I discovered they love ghosts.
yeah, we love ghosts.
Yeah.
Talking about ghosts?
Yeah,
Damn.
we feel differently about them, but
This is gonna be a good episode.
It's, I mean, like I want to like them. They just
you don't know where they're at.
So Jenny and I were on this trip, and you get handed. There's like one thing. It's called like an electro something.
Right.
It measures the amount of
the-
electricity in the
yeah.
walls,
Yeah, I'm familiar.
and it lights up from green to red. Well, they're
In the
not.
walls?
Yeah.
Okay, that
This
seems
is
like
a
like
real
less
tool.
advanced
This is a
version.
real tool that like real electricians use. That ghost
Yeah.
people have been like. It also works for ghosts.
I don't remember the name of it, but I am so familiar with what you're talking about. What is
Yeah.
it? It's like it sounds like a Geiger counter, kind of.
Yeah, but it's for electricity.
Right.
That's totally what it is.
Yeah.
That's a great reference. So like Mary's my other friend. That's who I normally go with. Jenny would like hold the thing. It lights up all the way to red. We're like standing in the middle of the room.
Ah.
I would then take it from her and would go right back to just green.
That's like kind of rude.
And this happened all the time. She'd have like little dowsing rods. They'd like cross. And you'd ask a bunch of questions and go back and forth. And then they'd hand it to me, and then it would just be like silence. Wouldn't move. Not
Yo,
a
what did
single
you
thing.
do to these ghosts, yo? So were they like,
I'm very solid. I'm just like of the earth, and ghosts are like, all right.
You think
next."
Jenny's got like a medium thing going on?
Everyone else I have taken to this has had some sort of ghosty experience.
Really? You think if you brought me and Keith, we would experience that?
I'm not
Yeah.
going. I'm sorry. I love you, but no. I believe in
only-
that type of shit.
Yeah.
So
Right, but you can go during the day. So like Mary
Still.
and I last year went, or 2 years ago, went on a late night, so middle of the night. We had a little like spirit box thing. We were like with a big tour, so there's like 30 people there. And a couple of spooky things happened, right? Like the woman like set a flashlight not on in the other end of the room, and then we like went to the other end of the room. She like asked her a question, then it like turned on.
bro, that would creep me out. I'm sorry.
It was
I'm
very
too black
scary.
for that type of
so
shit.
can I just? I hate to be this guy.
No, you can be this guy.
You don't suspect foul play, that this is just clearly a money grab?
It probably is.
Yeah.
I like going because I like the history of the place, and I like
See, Keith got upset when I said the Loch Ness Monster wasn't real.
the Loch Ness Monster isn't real.
And I quote, he said, it's probably a dinosaur. Which if it was real, probably a dinosaur.
I'm just saying,
Still
I
think
watch
the
a
guy
lot
did
of
this.
I watch a ton shit of a lot of paranormal shit, so I know it's out there. I wouldn't want to go because I
Here's
don't
the
want
thing.
to.
It's not that I don't believe in ghosts. I'm
Yeah.
okay living in a world where I'm wrong. I'm okay living in a world where I'm wrong and there are ghosts.
What do you want to be the reality?
I don't think you can impose your wants on reality.
No, I mean, that's not what I mean. I don't mean you're going to make it reality. I just mean like,
But I think you
do you want there to be
No, I
ghosts?
think you make a reality, and like I can't force there to be something that there's not, or
That's
to
healthy.
not make something that
that's
there
so
is.
healthy. It's boring. You know what I mean? I
is why I was worried to come on
wanted
this
all the
podcast.
UFO shit to be
I don't
real.
want aliens to be real.
I want aliens to be real so badly.
Actually, I'm okay with aliens existing, but I don't think they'll ever come
You're not big on
here.
them visiting.
No, because like, what could we have that they would need?
You're
Not much.
realistic as fuck. I like that.
What do you mean? Well,
I
I,
just
mean,
think-
it's like, why do you go to the zoo? You know? You're like, oh, shit.
Because I pay taxes, and my taxes pay for the zoo,
Well,
and
not every
I'm
zoo
getting
is
all of my
free.
money.
You're down
out
to
of
just
it.
naming all the animals.
I do go to the zoo a lot. Matilda and I want to take shrooms and go to the zoo.
You should go to the new bird exhibit.
Well, we
I
probably
love
would. yeah.
birds.
We probably would hit it all.
It's
honestly.
my favorite type of
Especially wild
animal.
shrooms. Birds?
My friend was
The
staying with me,
freedom.
and she like loves birds, and so we went to the new birdhouse, and it was really fun. They've got like little like brochure sheets of like the different birds in the room. You can identify them all.
The bird exhibit was shut down last time Matilda went. She was really upset, and the guy running
Yeah,
it
it's
was
been
like
closed.
flirting with her, and she was
Oh.
like, "Don't flirt with me."
He
And
said,
it's
motherfucker,
closed."
open the goddamn.
Yeah, exactly. Let me in. You know,
Yeah.
show a titty or something.
So for this next trip, this next weekend, we're getting locked in, which Keith would really hate.
Yeah.
Dog, I'm sorry.
Which also,
everything
like,
else has
here's the
been,
thing
like-
though. No, you're not, because that wouldn't be a legal business. So you're not locked in.
No, we paid for the privilege of
Yeah.
have access to the building overnight.
So
So the building was shut down like as a state-run institution in the mid-90s, and then it was dormant for like 10 years. And then in 2007, it sold for like $1.9 million to a private family. And they've been restoring half of the building to different decades of like what it looked like during that time. And it runs as like a museum.
pretty cool.
And then the other half they leave dilapidated so they can make money off of like the paranormal chumps.
What's the story behind this family?
They're a local West Virginian family who want to like preserve the history of.
I respect the fuck out of that.
That's fucking weird.
It is weird, but it's like,
$2 million.
what is
$2 million
so much
is
shit
not a lot
that's
of money when you're
around?
rich.
Yeah, what is that
You
much
think
shit?
like the wife was just like,
This
"Ooh,
this is
spooky."
a huge building.
Nah.
This is huge. It's like a huge campus. It's like multiple acres. It's enormous. It should have cost so much more.
Is it pretty?
I think it's pretty.
Do you
It's
know any of the
deeply
folklore?
haunting. It's like very sad.
Yeah.
I'm not good at remembering the ghost things, but I know like the true things that happened.
Well, yeah. That's hopefully those would lead to the ghost things.
So the town was built around the asylum, Weston, and actually a lot of people who lived at the asylum in the early days also worked in town. So like the postmaster general lived at the asylum full time.
Like the ones who had like work releases of some sort.
Yeah, well, so the guy who designed the building, this was like a very novel concept when it was invented, had this like belief that all people deserve the right to like air, light, and space. So all the window panes line up with the bars on the window so that when you look out the window, it's just a window.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and like every room has a window.
That's actually a pretty creative way to just be a human, like to just like provide
And so,
some
and then
comfort.
it was, you were higher up on the building depending on like how higher priority you were. So like the first floor was just people with like dementia and they could wander in and out of the grounds. And then as you went up, it was more higher security. But like the town prom was held in the school, in the like gymnasium there, right,
the asylum.
right off the violent women criminal ward.
Okay.
And they had like movie night.
better
They
than
did
the Violent
Christmas
Men.
in July. And
Why they have Christmas in July?
because you know everyone's not well, and you should have Christmas twice a year.
They just don't even know.
They give them something to make them happy a little bit.
Like, oh, it's Christmas.
And they had these huge sprawling grounds out front, and so the town baseball team was also in front of the asylum, and it really like it scared the other teams because the other high school kids would come in, and like who's supporting your team at Weston? Every one of the criminally insane
They're all-
people.
hit ball, hit.
Are they all wearing like, you know, the paper scrubs and stuff? Just like
No,
rocking
so
back and
I mean it
forth?
depends on the year, right? So
Jimmy!
like as most people at the asylum were not actually sick.
Why?
So it was very easy to drop people off.
Yeah, because they needed funding, so they're like, oh, hey.
Yeah,
Were some
so
of them just homeless?
you got money from the state for the number
Yeah.
of people you had. So they accepted very little criteria. Actually, it was mostly women because it was hard to get a divorce at the time, but you could get a divorce.
I'm sorry, I'm not.
No, I mean that's pretty funny to be honest.
It's so sad. But you could get
they're like,
rid of.
I have the vapors. I have to.
No, you could drop your wife off
No,
and
you're
say
like,
she's crazy.
Oh
Yo,
my god.
And because you are your mother's daughter, comes from this adage that any offspring a mentally ill or crazy woman had was also sick.
So you could drop off the daughter too.
all your kids,
Oh my god.
and then
Damn,
just
bro.
nope out and start over with a new family with no legal consequences.
Nope out.
At 17, boys could test out,
Yeah.
but there was no school on site, especially for the first like 100 years. So depending on if you hadn't learned how to read and write,
Women
before
couldn't
you got
test out.
there, No women could test out.
they just sending women in there on their periods.
They're
Like, I'm just on my period. Nah, this bitch is something going on with her.
Yeah,
I sneezed once. Crazy.
yeah.
That's so funny.
Reading
I mean,
too
it's
many
horrible.
novels,
Reading
talking
to
back.
me
Yeah.
novels.
She's too loud mouthed.
Epilepsy, any
Oh, wait,
of
we
that
gotta
stuff.
stop.
They also learned basically how group therapy worked here in Weston, because they were like a sanatorium for like the tuberculosis outbreak, and then they also got all the soldiers after World War II, World War I, and like the Civil War, and they were just shell shocked, which was the word we had before PTSD. And you would just group them up and have them talk to each other, and it like showed a big marked improvement. And I've
That's
said a lot
actually
of
dope.
positive things, but like it was actually a deeply upsetting place to be.
Yeah. So I imagine a lot of these hauntings are probably women.
So they had a women and men's ward. Oh, there's also an alcoholic section. Alcoholics weren't trapped there for life, but you know,
Right.
they lived in the attic. So
Fair enough.
most of the there are three main ghosty parts. There's a lot of ghosts that happen there because a lot of horrible things happen to very, mostly good people. There's like a child ward. Oh yeah, because you could also be like a baby and just get dropped off.
Well, babies are crazy.
Yeah.
You ever tried to talk to a baby? Like, what are you saying?
So by the time we got to like the 40s, we were doing hotbeds. So people slept for 8 hours, and then a new person slept in your bed for 8 hours, and then a new person slept in your bed for 8 hours.
So they on like shift rotations for.
Yeah, because the
'cause there's
ward
so
was
many
only
people.
designed to fit 50 people, but at one point was fitting over
Is that why
over
hotbed
300.
is called hotbed? Is it named after that?
No.
No, but that is what I think of every time I go.
I did. Now I will. Honestly.
But yeah, at their peak, they had like 300 people on a ward designed to fit 50
Fuck. So there's like 3 shifts of like.
sleeping.
So they're
Yo,
keeping
that shit
people
probably
on like nocturnal
warm.
schedules. Oh well, that'll make you insane. What the fuck? That's nuts.
Yeah, and
Oh,
like
man.
they would chain kids to radiators and like
Well, sometimes that's the move.
and then on the like criminally insane ward there were a lot of like stabbings and eye gougings and
Yeah.
shankings and stuff.
Of course. Damn. So when you're walking through this place, you feel like something's like not right.
It makes me feel indescribably sad. I walk in and I feel
Oh,
so sad.
Do you think that that could be real, even though ghosts might not be, and that that might be the contributing factor to why people think there were ghosts?
Yes.
I've thought about that.
I think people who like ghosts, like my cousin is very like spiritual,
Yeah.
crystal-y person, and she would say that the
Silly.
reason I feel sad is because I can feel
the energy.
the energy and the essence of the people who were tortured.
That's why they
there.
say in a bunch of paranormal shows, like the sense of dread.
Yeah, but I don't feel scared. I feel sad because like,
I mean, energy exists.
but
you know?
energy exists. That's what I mean. Like I'm not scared of the idea that I'm wrong and that ghosts are real.
Right.
It's easier for me to live in a world where they don't.
Oh,
And it's
what if-
easier for me, but maybe it's harder for them.
So
I
what
don't
if you
know.
have an experience this time you go, you just like feel that, and you turn around and the ghost is sitting there crying?
I will
What
call
are
you
you gonna
guys
do?
immediately.
Don't
I will
call
you.
us.
Oh my God, we will have to
Do
have her
not
back on the podcast.
Call us yet. Feel that experience, and like, what are you gonna do? Like, are you gonna like wipe their tear, or like?
Well, you're going next weekend?
Yeah, I'm going on Saturday.
Okay, we should have you back on in a few weeks to talk about it because that's pretty interesting.
I'll let you know if anything happens.
Okay.
We don't need to waste another.
Yeah, I guess if nothing happens, then
Well, I'm going with my friend Mary. Mary's a very ghosty person.
just the name alone. Every time you say Mary, I think she's a ghost.
You seen the lamp thing, right?
The what?
It was an orb.
It was. Shut the fuck up.
It's like you can't haunt an apartment. We already did that research.
Yes, you can.
You can.
Yeah.
You can haunt
You
anything,
can't haunt a
dude.
place you rent. We already looked it up.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Who told you that?
Matilda.
She just wants you to calm down.
I don't think there's ghosts. She's always spooked. I'm never spooked. I'm not afraid of anything really.
Such
Anything?
a fucking man.
Like okay, if I'm in the ocean and a shark swims up on me, I'm afraid of sharks. But only in that moment. Like I don't think about those things.
But is that coming from a fear of pain, a fear of death?
I'm not afraid to die because dying is painless for the most part.
But you're scared of
Usually.
the shark attacking you. So you are scared of pain.
No, it's more like I want to live.
yeah, you can't do anything about it.
But the actual dying, I've seen people die a lot, and it's like not that scary. It seems pretty chill. Honestly, seems chill.
Unless you're dying by a
Just
shark.
saying, you're just sitting there.
Unless you're dying from like
jealous.
getting ran over by a car and it's painful and you're screaming or something. I've seen that too.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem so great.
That seems very
But
scary.
even in the last moment, it's very like this like peaceful moment kind of. It's weird.
I keep forgetting you was a fucking paramedic, bro.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
seen shit.
Yeah, I should make that clear. I haven't just seen a
He's
bunch
not
of
just
people.
going around running people over and then holding their face.
Wow.
Or just like he's
Research.
sensing death, and he's just like, I feel like somebody's about to die. All right.
Did you know that when people are dying though, they like announce it, and they're almost always right. Like somebody who thinks they're gonna die, they might be scared and screaming or whatever, and they don't die. But like when somebody's going to die, like if somebody says, "I think I'm gonna die" or "I'm dying," they usually die. Like they know.
You give up your will too. You,
That could
that's
be
like
part
the
of it.
last
That's the
part
argument.
you have for yourself.
Like maybe if you didn't accept it, you would have lived potentially. But it's weird to think about.
But
bit of
maybe
an
it's just
afterlife thing.
it lets you go calmer. If you're like, okay,
Accepting
this
it.
is it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it seems like they know, especially with heart attacks. They say that like if somebody's talking about how they think they're about to die, that's like considered like a legit factor that you should be reporting because it's like they're more likely to die.
I've thought a lot less about heart attacks than you.
Well, yeah.
I believe you.
Yeah. I'm afraid of dying too young.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I'm not like afraid of a ghost. I'm not afraid of like
I'm
it's another
afraid of
thing
living
people-
too
I'm not
long.
afraid of bugs, but I'm grossed out by bugs. I think they're icky. But I
All
kill
bugs
them.
or certain bugs?
Certain bugs. Certain
so
bugs.
to kill time, because Mary and I are gonna be trapped in there for like 8 or 9 hours, I bought a bunch of like Mad Libs and like spooky Would You Rather's.
Hold on,
Hell
what,
yeah.
like what?
Would you rather have every time you kill an animal, a tattoo of them instantly appears on your body, or
Oh my god.
every time you do something morally wrong, evidence of that turns up?
Well,
on
I
your
definitely
body?
don't want to be covered in thousands of chicken tattoos. You know, that seems awful.
No, like personally actively killing something.
bugs count.
Yes.
I'd have a lot of mosquito tattoos and a handful of roach tattoos. Or what was the other one? I got caught up. What was the rather?
Morally wrong. Like
And it's recorded.
recorded on your body.
What do you mean?
Like if you
It's
did
a
something.
would you rather. I didn't come up with it, so I
Wait,
can't
but
define it.
I'm confused. Would you rather have a tattoo of everything you've killed on your body or what?
Or something morally wrong. Every time you do something morally wrong, like the phrase of whatever it was, like appears on your body, or like evidence of it, like a symbol of it.
I guess definitely just the animal itself, because that's like a cooler tattoo. You know, it just appears on you, or you have to
Yeah.
go get it.
No. It instantly appears.
I can't
but it
afford
hurts.
this.
No.
Okay.
I didn't even think about that. That's funny.
It's like everything right after you get a fresh tattoo.
I guess I would be covered in bug tattoos though.
Yeah, mostly mosquitoes. Agreed.
Yeah. I guess that'd be better than the words, like some words.
Words are
about-
like a symbol of every time you did something
but
morally
not the bug
wrong.
itself. Oh, everything morally wrong. Oh, now I understand.
Okay, I didn't know how many times
Yeah,
to say
I
it.
would definitely prefer the bugs than like.
I
don't-
think an
like,
important
don't jerk off to
caveat
that kind of thing.
is I think in order for it to be, because it's hard, because like who determines what is morally wrong?
Well, I think
So I think if you determined what was morally wrong, then that's not a bad tattoo. Is like trying to follow like a religious plan.
Yeah, I mean, I've done some things that I consider morally wrong,
Okay,
and I don't want those tattooed on me.
that's
at all.
fair.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with bugs.
Did you kill another guy to take his cruise?
No.
All right.
'Cause then his whole
I
body
framed
would
the
be
guy for
under-
murder.
And then a boat just
allegedly.
Like a
allegedly.
Carnival cruise ship. What would you do, kid?
I'd probably do the bug thing.
Yeah, you too.
I
Yeah.
killed a shit ton of roaches.
Who's ever choosing the other one? People who just have never done anything morally wrong.
I've been asking a lot of people this week, and I can't find anyone who picked the morally wrong. I think
You'd
we're
have to be a
all
real
scared of-
boring person.
But like, I don't think I do a lot of morally wrong things that I believe are morally wrong.
No, my brain goes back to like three things that I will not say.
I'm pointedly not asking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying.
I'm
gonna,
not
all right, I'll tell you. No, and I wouldn't want those tattooed on me, I guess. But mostly because I don't know what they'd be to represent it, and they could be pretty weird.
Well, might just be like the phrase, like jaywalking or something.
Well,
Not that I think
that's not
jaywalking is
wrong.
morally wrong, but that was the like tamest thing I could think of.
Fair enough. Yeah, I know, that's interesting. I wonder if there's things that you would get on you that you didn't know were wrong. Like, imagine going through life. And
Yeah,
like,
that's what's
you cut somebody
honestly-
off and you didn't see it, and it's like you cut the guy off, and you're like, "What the fuck? I didn't even notice."
That's what's scary about the morally wrong thing is like who
That's
determines what's morally wrong.
Yeah,
and if
that's
it's
funny.
just the like supernatural tattoo itself, then it could think anything was morally wrong.
That is legitimately probably one of the best would you rathers I've heard in a long time, because that's so much more interesting than what I say. I'm always like, would you rather have frog legs or camel? You know what I mean? It's like
It's a fun
mine are
book.
dumb. What would you're going with the bugs and stuff?
Yeah.
Trying to think if I killed a turkey once.
But I think at a certain point I would just be like one big tattoo. I think I kill a lot of bugs.
Nigga said he killed a turkey. So you out here telling jokes about making turkeys blush, and you killed a turkey?
You helped me write that joke, okay?
I did, and it's very funny.
It is.
But the turkey's just up in heaven, just like, yo, that
Well,
nigga lying.
I shot a turkey with a bow once.
On purpose.
Turkey hunting, yeah.
With a bow?
If I'm being honest,
Do they have turkeys in Florida?
no. This was in Missouri.
Okay.
Yeah, I lived in Missouri briefly. To be honest with you, I don't actually know if I hit that motherfucker.
Okay, then you didn't.
Well, but I would know if a tattoo popped up of a turkey.
Right, but you'd know if you hit it because you would have been able to go get it.
Or he would have John Wicked you.
Well, to be honest,
Did you go and get it?
I think I might have injured it in a way that it would have died.
And you didn't help it?
I couldn't get to it.
Then it lived.
It's complicated.
It's not
You weren't
complicated.
there, Caitlin.
You bitch ass motherfucker. You gobble
Fucking turkeys. A gobbler.
I've never killed anything
killed
bigger
fish.
than a bug.
Killed fish. I've been
A lot of people
fishing.
kill fish.
I've killed fish, I think, because I was not a very good fisherman, and sometimes it's hard to get a hook out.
Nah, it is, dude.
Yeah,
I used to.
really struggled with
Yeah, it's
fishing.
really gross. I don't like it. I'm squeamish like that.
I went fishing and I threw one back in the sea because it wasn't big enough.
Yeah. And you think he was injured?
I guess I've
Nah,
killed.
I purposely threw that shit. I was like, I never threw a fish before, and I threw it.
Throwing it, well, if you throw it far enough,
I've done crab
it
hunting.
gets
so I guess I've
shocked when it hits
killed-
the water.
I guess I've killed
Crab
crabs.
hunting.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, I've put lobsters in a pot.
Yeah.
But a lobster tattoo would be kind of sick. So maybe I'll just do it to get a free tattoo.
Mm.
Ooh. Like I kill. What if I I don't know who I would kill, but like you kill like the lead singer of Papa Roach because you want a Papa Roach tattoo.
That seems pretty extreme.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably just get a Papa Roach tattoo, I guess. Also, well, if you have a Papa Roach tattoo, that's also morally wrong for listening to Papa Roach. So you should probably get.
They used the shit back in the early 2000s,
Papa
late
Roach?
90s. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. I don't know.
You got another would you rather? A spooky one?
This is again the kind of thing that you should let someone prep for.
Well, you don't have to have one. I'm just,
I'm trying to remember the other one, but the only other one I'm thinking of because I didn't read it cover to cover because I haven't gone yet.
It's a book?
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
I didn't think of
And
it.
they plan on
We
it.
should get like a would you rather book.
And they plan on it. We should. and
Actually,
they
I have a
plan
great
on-
book you guys would really like. It's
Okay.
like 101 ethical questions, and it's sort of like a would you rather, but it makes you really think about like what's important. And
Keith,
what's
we're going to
not.
have a segment. Oh,
This
finally,
is
we
again
have a
a
segment
kind of
now.
thing you could have told
Our
me, and
first segment.
I would have brought it.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. I don't even know anything about your life. I'm just kidding. We actually do talk probably more frequently than I talk to half the comics in the city. But
I don't think we talk that much.
well, we don't talk well. We're pretty bad at talking to each other. It's
We
not.
are pretty
it's-
horrible at talking to each other.
Who? You and I?
I mean, like comics.
Oh, in general, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, Caitlin and I think often our
We've
conversations
had-
are like face-offs.
No, I think we've had like 2 deep interactions, and then we've had a lot of like, what?
Yes, y'all too. Me and you, I'm usually asking a question you do not want to answer, and you're just like,
You asked one question I didn't want to answer,
What
and
was
then
it?
we normally talk about cookies.
yes, and
What was
baking.
the question?
I don't
She
want
don't
to.
You
wanna
should have a
talk about it.
bake-off.
It's not really that much
No.
fun.
It's my boo.
I've sampled both of your cookies a number of times. One of your cookies was very good.
Was it the shortbread one?
I don't remember. Or one of her cookies, I mean.
Yeah,
Your
that
cookies
was
are
a-
always pretty good, but you're like a baker. You know what I
Yours
mean?
is like your
She's
whole
a baker too. She gave me a book.
Yeah, but one time she made kitchen
Oh, I
sink
did.
cookies, and I go, "What's in this?" And you were like, "Everything." And but you
Was
meant
it
it,
the chocolate
and they
chip
were
ones?
awful.
Yeah.
It wasn't the chocolate chip ones. They were like cake.
I don't
you
remember.
made them out of cake
I just remember
batter.
being like, "There, is there pepper in this? Like, what the fuck?"
Yes.
And everyone was like, "These are so good," and I was like, "Why are you lying to her right now?"
Sometimes
I
you
never
try
told
new
you that,
things.
but
That's okay.
I thought it was so
I don't
funny.
take it personally.
I
Sometimes
know.
you try new things and it's not very good.
And then you just hand them out to all your friends to eat.
Yeah.
She don't want them in the house. I
don't want 'em in the
I did.
house.
Yeah, I
So
don't
I
want
made
'em
these
in.
like blueberry cookies, and they were like shockingly blue, and they were so cool. And I was like, I bet I could do this with other fruits. I could not. And then I had
Well,
disgusting
blueberries
things I
stain
handed to a
easily.
lot of
You could
people.
probably do it with like what other pomegranates are very stainy. They have a lot of color.
No, so I tried it
Raspberries
with,
are very stainy.
yeah, I tried it with other berries, and the dough was too wet, and it didn't really like set right.
Oh, interesting. Well, Keith, you're a baker. Do you know why?
So you gotta, if you want to do something berry based and like the flavor, cook it down with sugar and then sift it to get the seeds out.
Yeah, because of the blueberry thing, I just took frozen berries, microwaved them, made it into like basically a quick jam, and I tried doing the same thing with strawberries, and I should have done more. I should have cooked them down more.
Yeah.
I know what I did wrong.
That's very interesting. It's interesting
very
hearing you guys talk about
sciencey.
baking. Yeah, baking is science. It's straight up chemistry. That's
Which is why
it's
when I
fascinating.
mess up, it's very clear, as opposed to like when I cook food, you can't tell when I mess up.
Yeah.
Oh
Your
my
kitchen
God.
sink cookies, though, man, it was like you cooked them in a kitchen sink.
They weren't very good. I'm not.
was
They're
so
not even
funny
the
to
worst
me.
thing I've made to
Like
people.
I put it in my
I tried
pocket,
these brownies,
and I was like,
and they were terrible.
Really?
Yeah, I cannot crack brownies.
You know, it's funny. Matilda's an awful cook, but randomly she'll make something and it's like delicious. But she can't cook eggs. Well, now she can. She learned, but she would
What
really
was she
struggle with
doing
the
wrong
simple
with the
things. Mostly just filling them full of shells and whatnot. I have a video on my
She
Instagram.
trying to kill you.
There's a video on my Instagram of Matilda cooking eggs, and all I did was point the camera at her and let her go. And man, it was comedic. It was-
Interesting.
Yeah, you should check it out.
Did she just like smash the egg whole into the bowl?
No, it's like throws the egg, like cracks the egg, doesn't do a great job, puts it into a cold pan. There's no oil in the pan. Then she starts it.
Well, you can start in a cold pan.
You can, but not if you're like. But if you put it in a cold pan, then you turn it on like high. Like
yeah.
that's not.
As a
like,
helpful hint, you can usually use the piece of the eggshell to fish out the like little pieces.
You can. My system is you wet your finger.
Yeah.
That way you can get through the membrane.
But I find that the eggshell is easier.
Eggshell
Maybe.
is much easier.
Depends on, but I like. So I worked in a lot of kitchens when I was young. Like I was a cook for years, and I got
You were Doogie
really
Howser,
used to
but
just like
with
touching
cookies.
hot shit.
Yeah.
So my method is like just pulling shit out of hot pans, and so I flip everything with my fingers. I'm like an abuela.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am. I'm just like an abuela.
Yeah. Just like.
Exactly. Like, well,
I feel
different
like they're
shape.
probably not leaving eggshells in things though.
No, but they are
But the
flipping.
flipping
like,
the hot
yeah,
pans.
the hot
I
shit.
do that with like tortillas and stuff.
Yeah, I
well,
do it with
tortillas.
tortillas, too.
Yeah, that's kind of the only way to do it. with
Do
a
you cook
tortilla.
your tortillas on the stovetop?
I do. Yeah.
I
They give
used to
them
when
like
I
a char.
had a gas stove, I would do it over the gas. But now that I have an electric, I don't.
I don't really do it over the gas directly. I usually just heat up like really hot a hot pan, flip the corn tortilla over there. I eat corn tortillas exclusively because I can't eat wheat.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Something about that flavor. Now y'all about to make me go make tacos.
Ooh, I have taco fixings tonight. Shrimp tacos. Yeah. Sure, our listeners love to hear what I have in my fridge.
Guess what cheesecake I'm making this week? Strawberry tiramisu. Ooh,
That's an interesting combination.
right?
I could see that working.
I struggle with cheesecake too. I have a hard time with that.
Famously pretty hard though, right? Cheesecake.
No.
No, famously very easy. Similar to brownies.
Brownies are hard to fuck up. Were you going with something risky? Were you trying?
No, I
something
keep trying
crazy?
to start it from scratch and not the box, and I don't know how I keep making it too cake-like, but I am.
Keith.
I was about to say that's so easy. They say on the box.
I
do you want
literally,
fudgy
I know,
or
but I'm
cakey?
trying. I'm not doing from the box. I tried, like, I've tried several times.
You was
my
looking
own.
for recipes.
It's easy.
I know it's just me.
I'm trying to tell you. Did you try the double boiler technique?
No,
Try that. With
I know.
What does that mean?
Double boiler. So it's a pot of water.
you heat the chocolate.
Yeah,
You, like,
or in
temper
a
it.
bowl, temper it, and then you add the egg. Well, you melt the chocolate chips first. Then you
I
can
was-
add the egg and
So
sugar.
like during the egg shortage, I was trying out other like egg substitutes
The
in.
egg shortage.
You know,
Yeah,
when-
when it was
When
like
they were expensive.
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I don't even. What was it, like 50 cents difference?
Listen, when you're
Fuck
on a
no.
shoestring budget, that's
Bro, I'm
lot.
a barista.
I know. So you should understand that when eggs are expensive, that throws your whole budget off.
I'm horrible with money, to be honest.
Especially when
So
you're a
bad with
baker.
money.
Especially when you're not buying real meat. You're just buying a lot of eggs to make up for the fact that you can't afford it.
Yeah, eggs are eggs and
They're
butter.
versatile. You know, like you can do so much with an egg.
You can.
It doesn't feel like you're eating eggs every day,
Yeah.
but you are.
I'm gonna be honest. I've like mastered the egg, breakfast egg specifically. Like my omelets, perfect.
But you like make like a rice dish and something, and then you like have an egg on top.
Yeah, a little runny egg on top.
Yeah.
It's delicious. I know how to poach an egg pretty well. I can do over easy, send it side up. I can do I do this. I like to make the Gordon Ramsay eggs, you know what I'm saying? Those slow cooked, full of butter. He uses lard. I don't have lard because I'm American, but
You could save bacon fat if you wanted your own lard.
that'd be pretty good. Ooh, duck fat.
So
I make a mean duck fat.
you've said that several times.
Potatoes.
You made
Have
it
I?
once.
I made duck breast once. That's true. But I've had duck breast at like fancy restaurants. Mine was significantly better.
I know, but you only did it one time. You can't say like I do a mean when you've done it one time.
Well, I've bought duck fat. You can buy duck fat on its own. Not the same, but yeah. Anyway, I'm a good cook, is what I'm saying.
Congrats.
Cook. I'm not a good baker though, mostly because I don't like eating it. I don't like baked goods that much.
Well, you can't have a lot of it.
Not most of it, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, and our oven's broken, so there's that.
What's wrong with it?
Doesn't work. Matter of fact, doesn't light. Just spews gas out at the moment. So
What's your landlord doing about it?
not much. Our landlord fucking sucks. And I hope well, it's not our landlord's fault. It's the management company that she uses.
Well, she's using them, so it is her fault.
Yeah, I guess, but she seems like she's very standoffish and doesn't want to be involved. So I don't really blame
Well,
her.
that tough titties. You own the building, so
She does. She does a shitty
Yeah.
job. Doesn't even own the building. Owns this apartment.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
you got to fix it.
The person who lives above us owns her apartment, and she's like the closest thing to a landlord we have.
In that she.
She's very helpful.
Okay.
Almost nosy, but helpful. Very sweet.
Helpful with what?
Very hands-on. Like if there's a problem bad enough, like we had mold in this wall. Matter of fact,
I remember that.
yeah. Oh yeah, we had a party with like a hole in the wall, I think. But we had mold in this wall, and our landlord like wasn't getting back to us about it. So we brought her down, and she was like, "There's mold in it." And we're like, "Yeah," and she's like, "Well, that's not because that's gonna affect her apartment." So she was able to deal with it. So as long as we all relate it to her apartment, like if I'm like, "Oh, there's gas spewing out of the oven, help!" Like she'll be like, "Okay, well, I don't want to die, so now I have to deal with it and get the landlord involved."
Yeah, you should
and,
tell her.
Yeah, and then she calls the landlord directly, because we're not legally allowed to have the landlord's number.
What the
What the
fuck?
fuck?
That doesn't make
Probably
any
not legally,
kind of
but
sense.
That's
through
not
the
legally.
management company.
Yeah, they just
Yeah.
don't want you to have it. That's not a legal
Right.
thing.
Which we're like the best tenants ever. We don't give a fuck. We have so little requirements. We just want to be able to cook food. At one point, no bullshit, our stove, oven, and microwave was all broken. And the email I sent was, "Hey, we're going to starve to death." Like,
All we have is a toaster we can't turn on because of the leaking gas.
Yeah,
Can
no
you
shit.
please fix this?
fucking ridiculous. Anyway, we got
no.
sidetracked from your friend Mary being haunted.
Oh, yeah, Mary's haunted.
It was a while ago, but
Yeah, she's like old Italian family, and she went to school down in Florida. Anyway,
you know where?
yeah, St. Augustine.
Really?
Yeah,
It's like the most haunted place in Florida.
I know, because she's a very ghosty, haunted person. I don't know why
That's funny.
you're shocked.
Well, I didn't know there was a school there for starters, but
There is. I couldn't tell you the school.
yeah, I've been there. There's castles everywhere.
Yeah,
It's where Ponce de Leon was
they like to think that they're the oldest city in,
in Florida.
but they're not.
Isn't the oldest like? Well, never mind.
It's in Pensacola, but it was
I was
made out
thinking
of wood.
The first black city was in Florida. Yeah, fun fact. Very progressive down there.
What was it called?
It was. It was. It was. I don't know. I don't remember what it was called. Do you remember what it was called?
I thought you was about to say Blacktown.
Blackton, Florida. No, I
Okay.
can't remember what it was called. Anyway.
That's a fun fact.
Oh my god, I'm tired. Anyway.
Anyway, Mary's a very ghosty person.
Yeah.
She allegedly has seen a lot of ghosts at like her parents' house. Her parents.
Now,
live
be
out
honest,
She
there.
she's
still
probably
wants to
not gonna
go
see
to
this,
ghost
right?
shit.
She's absolutely not going to see this.
Okay, so is she full of shit? Is she like a liar?
I think there are people who are more connected to things outside of themselves than I am.
Like lies.
No, because I've met.
Is she also connected to other like shitty things though? Like that aren't real? Do you know what I mean?
No,
Like how long have you
she's
known
the
her?
least of like the ghosty people in my life. She's the least crystally.
That's a huge red flag to me. I agree. It's like
So like I would say this: I've met people who are religious, but they feel like they've been touched by God. Like they feel like truly otherworldly. Mary doesn't feel otherworldly, but I believe that she thinks she's connected to something bigger than
the
herself.
people who feel like they're touched by God. You believe that though? Sometimes you say.
I don't believe in God, but I believe that these people are special.
You believe that they believe it.
Yes, they have like true faith.
There could be something else, right?
Because like some people have true faith, and the God they actually believe in kind of sucks. You know, like you've met religious people who suck.
Yeah, I mean, most of the people who suck in my life are religious,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
but like having faith in something that you think is good is not the same as like having true faith in a good thing.
Fair enough.
So I'd say
Yeah.
like Mary really believes in the ghost thing. Does that mean that I like sense on her like a true faith? No, but I'm not a person who's like amazing at identifying that in people.
I will say I have convinced other people ghosts are real because
Okay.
I was just fucking with them, and I'm really convincing.
Mary's not a proselytizer.
I know what that means, but for the audience,
So like proselytizing means like a preaching, like you want to convert people to your way of thinking.
right? Okay, I gotcha. She just is who she is, and if you
I
know
find that
about her-
most people who have true faith are not proselytizers.
I agree. Yeah. Well, usually if you want everybody to know that you are something good, then you're probably full of shit anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I regret telling you guys that I just gained a bunch of followers on TikTok.
I've already forgotten that.
Yeah, well, I reminded you. And if you're watching this, you probably are
You hopefully already
an
know that.
incel. I got to get better fans.
Have you tried being a better person?
Wait, do you want me to read you some of these comments? I'm
Not
not even
really,
kidding.
but you're welcome
okay.
to.
I
It's
just feel like it'd be a
your
fun
Jack
thing.
loves this. Let him. Bro, he's the only
I said
person
No, I
he
mean
could.
they're really awful.
replies.
He asked if
They're
I
really
wanted
mean
it,
to me.
and
No,
I
no,
said
but he
no.
reply. He's the only person that replies, and I'm like,
That's
Jack,
how you
stop
bump the
replying to these
I
algorithm.
people.
don't
No, you have to
reply
reply to them. You
I
gotta
don't
bump
reply
the
on TikTok
algorithm.
like that. I only reply to Shrimp and Grits comments because there's like 4 of them, and all of them were mean about you. Being
Why were they being mean about Keith?
Keith doesn't know a lot of. Keith has a lot of gaps in his knowledge, mostly about history.
Oh yeah, the black community. I fucked up a lot of black community shit.
Well, no, you're talking about the Megan Good
The
thing.
making good shit.
Yeah, the black
Oh, I
community
did
cared
see
about
that.
that. Nobody else.
People were mad about that.
I mean, she's a goddess, but okay, so here's what I'm actually gonna look up. So if I go to my analytics
Okay.
for this video, so I have a video that's doing well, basically, and the
Brag.
analytics. If you go to the analytics, it tells you keywords that are popping up in the comments,
Okay.
like the most used keywords. And what's funny about that is they're all so mean. Like all the most used comments. So the number 1 used words or phrases in the comments are Matt Rife. Okay. It's mostly because I bear some resemblance to a guy who might look like Matt Rife at first glance. And by that I mean like I look like a variation of him.
You have a similar nose.
I think it's like I have a jawline and I have like bangs.
He has a very different jawline.
I have a spectacular jawline, Caitlin. Okay.
It was not a quality assessment.
He does. He is like a very butt chin, and I have more of just a regular.
Yeah,
it's
you have a
just-
different jaw.
I have a chin there.
Yeah.
So
You both have chins.
yes. So
Neutral statements.
oh God, thank God that was empty. Okay, so Matt Rife is the number 1 used, and it's used over 100 times. Wish version used so many times. That's
What
the
does that
next
mean?
shit.
like the
The-
Wish version of Matt Rife.
It's kind of like Amazon Prime or like some off. It's super sucky.
We gotta wrap
Okay.
this up quick, but great value. Also used heavily in the
I'm
comments.
familiar with that.
And then there's a bunch that weren't in here because they weren't spelt correctly mostly, and they were like variations. But AIDS, I'm Matt Rife with AIDS
fuck
came
you
up.
Fuck
often.
up the spelling of AIDS.
Well, I think it was also there's a lot of grammatical
Grid.
errors. Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
I was making a joke.
Grid?
Is what AIDS used to be called.
Grid?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I will say this: I did find an article online that South Korea is changing the way they're keeping count of age. Have you heard of this?
Yeah, so everyone's like 2 years older.
I think it's a year younger.
Okay.
So the way they were doing it, as far as I understand, is that you're born 1,
Yes, I knew this.
and then on your second birthday,
Your
you're-
first birthday, you become 2.
you become 2, right?
Because you start, instead of you've had 1 year of life, you start at 1 and now you are starting year 2.
It's your second birthday,
Because you're
and it
because
counts
your
the
first,
birthday.
The day you were born is your first. Yeah.
first birthday. So that makes you. And what's funny in the article I read, and this is like really the only funny part. The article I read, the first quote that was in there was from a 6-year-old, and they're like, "Last week I was 6, and today I woke up, and now I'm 5." I thought that was adorable problem to have, to be
It's
honest.
very adorable, but also it's fucking him up. Like, yo, like.
He's like, yeah, I gotta be 5 again.
I've already
exactly.
been 5. I've been 5 this whole time.
It's silly, but also like it's not really subjective of how age works. You've been alive for a amount of time.
I don't know. I feel like it worked. Clearly they don't because they just went back on it. But
Well, they're trying to get it like that's, the rest of the world is
they're
like
trying to uniform it up. Right. But
Right.
like, just because we have inches and feet doesn't mean that centimeters isn't a better system.
I mean, it definitely is. You know, what's the freezing point in the metric system? 0?
Nah.
32.
Yeah.
No, I think that's our
Oh,
Oh,
system.
Fahrenheit. Do you mean in Celsius?
Yes,
It's 0.
they don't consider that also part of the metric system.
So Celsius is not part of the metric system.
just a
Celsius
separate
is
entity.
a bad measurement. This is a hot take. Hot take, Caitlin. Celsius is a bad measurement for when dealing with humans. It's only a good measurement when dealing with like scientific things.
Fair enough, I guess.
Fahrenheit is a much better system for people.
But here's the thing. So,
'Cause
but
it's
so
a
simplified
wider range.
because 100 is boiling,
Yeah.
0 is freezing.
Right, so it's better for like science things.
Right.
But like if I said it was 30 degrees Celsius, what does that mean to you?
Well, it doesn't mean anything to
Nothing.
me
It
because
means
I don't.
absolutely
But that's
nothing.
just because
But
I'm not
if I
used
said
to
it's
it.
100 degrees outside, that's a lot.
But isn't that just because you're used to it?
If I said it was 0 degrees outside, you'd be like, that's cold. In Celsius, you're dead. At 100 degrees Celsius, you're just dead. They can't. It's too hot. It's boiling.
Yeah, but why do you need it to be?
Because it's a better
A higher
scientific
number.
term, but like as a human, it's easier to think of like emotional numbers.
But I feel like you're associating those emotional numbers because those are the ones you're taught. The Fahrenheit is what you're used to. So it wouldn't mean the same thing to you if you were
But
British.
it's easier to tell people like, oh, it's kind of warm out. And if you had to pick a number,
Yeah, it's all about the, especially in
But if you said that
America.
to somebody in the UK, it's
right,
hot
but the
out.
difference between 30 and 32 is huge in Celsius.
Oh, is that how it works?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. I don't understand the world much.
I think you understand a lot of it.
Sure, parts of it, yeah, kind of. I know a lot about the heart for some reason.
Yeah, you've
And the
talked
blood
about it
system.
a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and a lot about how your blood travels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know any of that.
You got it. I could see it all over you.
Good.
All right, we should wrap up. We should wrap up this podcast. This has been a very interesting episode. I would say, arguably, we transcended from comedy podcast to mostly a ghost podcast here today, and I'm happy with it personally.
Okay.
I think we did a good job of displaying our relationship on screen,
In that it didn't go great.
I thought it was good.
and then it's funny to really just us. Keith, you had a good time?
I had a wonderful time.
Okay, hell yeah. And and we didn't get to
No, we're gonna get to it next week.
That's a
we
good
didn't
plan.
get to
No, we didn't.
anything.
I tried. I set us right up.
Yeah, but you kept it like ghosts. Anyway, how was BlurCon? Like we're
No,
all then we're
next
gonna be like,
week.
whoa.
Next week, so I'm not walking here with that shit on. I'm wearing my costume that I wore to BlurCon.
Oh, please do. That'd be fun. Oh, should I wear a costume?
If you want.
I kind of want to. You don't think I should wear a costume? I don't even know what costume I would wear.
And that's why you should.
My
wear
Halloween
it.
costume last year, though, pretty sick, right?
Do you want me to bring you the glasses?
Oh yeah, I was wearing your glasses.
Yeah.
It's hard to see.
It was hard for me too. I
Yeah,
need them.
it was not a great decision. And I wear glasses, but mine
I
weren't
also
the
wear
right
glasses,
type.
and these were not real glasses. They were just costume.
Oh, that's
glasses.
right. Okay, so I could see. Bro, I used to
Anyway,
smoke so
my name
much
is
weed.
Caitlin McDevitt.
Shout out Caitlin McDevitt. What is your social media?
I'm on Instagram at Caitlin _McDevitt. It's CAITLIN.
Got the underscore in there, huh?
Yeah.
Couldn't get it without it.
Well, I used to be something else, and then I changed it later because people are like, "Oh, you're a lawyer," and I was like, "No, I just had a lot of
What
ambitions."
was it before?
It was lawyer MCD.
But you weren't a lawyer.
No, I wasn't. That was my like.
Was it an AOL account?
No, I didn't have an AOL account.
You didn't?
No.
How old are
we
you?
were an early GChat adopter.
How old are you?
We're like the same age.
How old are you?
I'm 28.
Okay, yeah. So you didn't have like an aim. You weren't like.
No, we were an early Gmail adoption family. So like we had GChat.
And people were like, "What is that?"
Yes, I
And
was
then you were
a
right.
like 9-year-old with my full name as an email.
I had an AOL, Yahoo. I did the whole thing. I had what's the other one? I had like an MSN account.
Yeah, I remember
I
MSN.
just had GChat.
What was your email as a kid?
I had Yahoo at first. Yeah, I had Yahoo.
Was it your name or did you have
Yeah,
like
do
a
you remember
fun
what it was?
thing?
Nah, because we did it in computer class. So I was like, just lost my virginity, dent. Like that type of shit.
Mine was V-Stone SG, which was short for Volcom Stone, and SG was my favorite type of Gibson guitar.
Mm.
So I was
What's
pretty
the first
cool.
half of that?
Which part? V-Stone?
Yeah,
Volcom Stone.
I don't know what that is.
So a skateboarding clothing company.
Yeah,
Okay.
Volcom.
Ryan Sheckler's clothing company. Kind of. It didn't have anything to do with Ryan Sheckler. I was a skateboarder as a kid.
Anyway, my friends in high school were really like nerdy people,
Mm-hmm.
and so we did a lot of like
G-Chat.
no, we had a lot of like games we played, and so we all had like shorthand handles for each other, and that was mine because I was like
Because you were going to be a lawyer.
because I was gonna be a lawyer, and it was the most like analytic. So like we all had like 2% and Sandman, and we all had like dumb little nicknames.
What was yours? The lawyer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone else was fun and had a personality, and I
You would have
was-
hated me. as a child.
I probably just wouldn't have known you. When I graduated, I didn't know 90% of my graduating class.
Fair enough. I was part of the cool crowd, but I was the least cool, and they all made fun of me.
I
really
didn't even know
unhealthy.
who the cool kids were. When I graduated, I learned we had a baseball team.
Yeah. Oh, it must have been good.
I have no idea.
All right.
Anyway, I'm also on TikTok and all the other stuff.
It's all Caitlin _McDevitt.
I think so.
Okay, close
Well,
enough.
you can try it. And
find it.
I run a show with Jenny Questel called The Living Room Show DC.
And that's at the Living Room Show DC.
Yeah, at The Living Room Show DC.
It's
No
super fun,
underscores.
and they do it in like an interesting spot. It's like
yeah,
a
we used
market.
to do it at my house, and now we're trying out other venues.
Yeah, it's not a living room at all.
Right, but it started in Jenny and my living rooms.
Okay, I'm just saying it's kind of
comedy
misleading.
shows that make you feel like you're at home, even though you used to be in our homes, and now we're in other places that feel like
Yeah,
home.
because your home, famously a great place to watch a comedy show.
Yeah, even
was.
outside of her home.
At your home specifically.
Specifically, my house, I had a row house. We would move all the furniture into the kitchen, hang a curtain.
Oh no, I've seen the pictures from afar because I was never invited.
It's it's in front of the back door. You'll feel the draft and hear it. It's great.
Nice. All right. Well,
I can't retroactively go back in time and have you.
something to think about. You know.
I won't think
just
about it
seems
for
like-
a
Hey,
single
man, you ain't
second.
gonna harass bookers, bro.
This is a bad strategy.
You're in my living room right now doing a show.
You asked me to be here.
You begged to come on. Okay.
I literally had to
Oh.
reschedule because I had other things.
Hilarious. You're just like, yeah, come be a guest. So, Ghost. Oh, yeah, by the way.
Hey, by the way, why did you never book me several years ago?
Tune back next week when we have another booker on.
I'm like, Jack, chill. Jack, chill, yo.
You're rubbing people the wrong way. All right, we gotta go.
We have Keith on a lot. We really
I've been
like
Jack
him.
Schwartz. This is my good, sexy friend
Keith Corey.
Keith Corey Dent, and
Oh, man,
we
you gonna just
love
put my
you.
last name out there, bro?
Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Shit.
Did you know he had a different last name?
No, but
Now she
I'm not
knows.
surprised.
All right, now let's do it. Let's clap. Let's everybody clap. We'll do about 3 or 4 minutes of this, then we'll end it. All right.